Every great transformation in the life of an individual begins not with their circumstances, not with the events around them, not even with the people they meet, but with the hidden realm of their thoughts. The mind is the workshop of destiny. It is the one place where every success is born and every failure is conceived. The direction of your life is a direct reflection of the direction of your thoughts, for thought is the seed, and action is the fruit. If you wish to control your future, if you desire to rise above mediocrity, if you long to live a life of power, peace, and purpose, you must first master the one thing that governs all the rest, your thoughts. Every man or woman walking this earth today is the product of their dominant thoughts. The beggar on the street, the ruler of nations, the builder of empires, the destroyer of civilizations, all of them are simply walking embodiments of the ideas that have dominated their minds. The person who constantly thinks of defeat will attract defeat. The person who fills their mind with thoughts of victory, persistence, and courage will inevitably attract victory. The law is as certain as gravity. Thoughts held in the mind, repeated, believed, and fed with emotion, gradually crystallize into habits, actions, and conditions. If you will not take hold of your thoughts, they will take hold of you, and they will shape your life whether you desire it or not. Consider the man who rises from obscurity to greatness. He begins no differently than you. He has doubts, he has fears, he has weaknesses, yet he refuses to dwell on those weaknesses. He rejects the thought of failure and substitutes it with a picture of success so vivid, so real, that his mind accepts it as truth. Daily, hourly, even moment by moment, he reinforces the belief that he is destined to win. What begins as a thought becomes a conviction. What becomes a conviction grows into action. What grows into action builds habits, and what builds habits shapes destiny. On the other hand, the individual who constantly repeats to themselves, "I cannot," "I am not worthy," "Life is against me," conditions their mind to accept those very beliefs. Soon their body acts in harmony with their thinking. Their eyes grow dim with hopelessness, their shoulders droop with defeat, and their very presence broadcasts failure to the world. They may not even realize they are doing it, but the world responds to them exactly as they think of themselves. It is impossible to rise in life while your thoughts are chained to the ground. The first step to controlling your thoughts is to become aware of them. Most people drift through life unconscious of the endless chatter within their own minds. They allow any passing idea, fear, or suggestion from others to settle into their consciousness. Like a garden left unattended, their mind becomes overrun with weeds. If you desire to change your life, you must take on the role of the vigilant gardener of your mind. Each morning and each evening, examine your thoughts. What are you planting? Are you sowing seeds of fear or faith, doubt or determination, weakness or strength? Only you can choose what grows there. Once awareness is established, the second step is substitution. It is not enough to say, "I will stop thinking negatively." Nature abhors a vacuum. If you pluck out a weed but leave the ground bare, the weed will return. You must replace the negative thought with a positive one, consciously and deliberately. If you find yourself thinking, "I will fail," immediately replace it with, "I will succeed," for success is born of persistence. If your mind whispers, "I am not good enough," counter it with, "I am capable, and I will prove it through my actions." At first, this may feel forced. Your mind may resist. But repetition and persistence are the keys that engrave new beliefs onto the subconscious. In time, the new thoughts will become natural, and the old ones will wither away. Do not underestimate the power of repetition. A thought repeated daily with emotion becomes a belief. A belief acted upon becomes a reality. That is why affirmations, visualization, and self-suggestion are such powerful tools. They are not mere words. They are instructions given to your subconscious mind. which controls nearly every function of your life. The subconscious does not question. It accepts whatever you feed it. Feed it with fear, and fear will dominate. Feed it with courage, and courage will dominate. Feed it with images of success, and your life will begin to arrange itself to bring that success about. The third step to controlling your thoughts is to guard your environment. Your mind is constantly influenced by what you see, hear, and experience, the books you read, the conversations you entertain, the people you surround yourself with. All these pour suggestions into your mind. If you allow yourself to dwell among the negative, you will become negative. If you expose yourself to mediocrity, you will live in mediocrity. If you keep company with the weak, the defeated, and the bitter, their thinking will seep into yours like poison into water. But if you choose to dwell among the strong, the determined, the ambitious, the victorious, their spirit will lift you. You cannot rise above the level of your dominant influences. Choose them wisely, for they will shape your thoughts, and your thoughts will shape your destiny. The fourth step is discipline. Control of your thoughts does not happen overnight. It requires daily effort. Just as a muscle grows strong through repeated exercise, your mental discipline grows strong through repeated practice. You will stumble, you will catch yourself drifting into old patterns of worry, doubt, and fear, but each time you recognize it and redirect your thought, you grow stronger. Each time you refuse to allow a negative seed to take root, you prove to yourself that you are master of your mind. Over time, what once required effort will become effortless, and your thinking will naturally align with success, courage, and faith. Understand this truth. You cannot change your life until you change your thinking. All the action, effort, and labor in the world will crumble if your mind is filled with fear. You may work hard, but if you secretly believe you will fail, you will sabotage yourself at every turn. But when your mind is filled with certainty, determination, and unshakable faith, even small actions become powerful, and even obstacles become stepping stones. The difference between success and failure is not talent, nor luck, nor circumstance. It is thought. Your mind is a magnet, and it attracts to you the people, opportunities, and events that harmonize with your dominant thoughts. This is not mysticism. This is the simple truth that people are drawn to confidence, to certainty, to vision. When you think in terms of victory, you carry yourself differently, you speak differently, you radiate a power that others cannot ignore. They are drawn to you, and through them come the opportunities you once thought impossible. The person who thinks defeat repels those same opportunities. They broadcast failure, and the world responds in kind. Let me tell you this: no one is born destined to fail. Failure is not a birthright. It is a thought that has been accepted and repeated until it became reality. Likewise, success is not reserved for a chosen few. It is the natural reward of those who have disciplined their minds to think in terms of success. You may have been born in poverty, but if your thoughts are rich, you will rise above poverty. You may have been born into weakness, but if your thoughts are strong, you will become powerful. You may have been born into obscurity, but if your thoughts are great, the world will not ignore you. Every invention, every empire, every masterpiece of art, every great achievement began in the mind of one person who controlled their thoughts and refused to allow doubt to rule them. The great inventor did not see failure in the broken experiment. He saw one more step toward discovery. The great leader did not see defeat in the setback. He saw an opportunity to rise again with greater strength. The great builder did not see impossibility in the vision. He saw only the path to create it. These individuals were not superhuman. They were simply masters of their thoughts, and because they mastered their thoughts, they mastered their lives. So, ask yourself today, what thoughts dominate your mind? Are they thoughts of weakness or strength? Are they thoughts of fear or faith? Are they thoughts of limitation or possibility? The answer to that question will reveal your future. If you do not like the answer, take courage, for you have within your power the ability to change it. You can begin this very moment to substitute every thought of defeat with a thought of victory, every thought of fear with a thought of courage, every thought of doubt with a thought of faith. And as you do this, day by day, week by week, month by month, you will feel a change within you. You will notice your actions aligning with your thoughts. You will see your environment begin to shift. You will feel doors opening that once seemed shut. And one day, you will look back and realize that the person you once were has been transformed into someone new, not by chance, not by luck, not by circumstances, but by the simple, deliberate, daily act of controlling your thoughts. This is the greatest truth you can ever learn. Control your thoughts, and you will control your life. Let your thoughts be filled with courage, with vision, with faith, with determination. Refuse to allow fear to dominate you. Refuse to allow doubt to enslave you. Stand guard at the gateway of your mind and admit only those thoughts that will build, strengthen, and uplift you. For as surely as the sun rises, your life will follow the path of your thoughts. And so I say to you, do not surrender your mind to chance. Do not drift with the current of negative thinking. Take hold of your thoughts, discipline them, guide them, direct them. For within them lies the power to create the life you desire, the destiny you dream of, and the legacy you were meant to leave. Your life is nothing more than the mirror of your thinking. If you wish to change the reflection, you must change the image you hold within. Begin today, begin now, and never stop, for the power to control your thoughts is the power to change your life forever. If you look closely at your daily life, you will see countless opportunities to apply this principle. When you wake in the morning, you may feel tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. That is the very moment to take command of your thoughts. Instead of repeating, "I feel weak," say to yourself, "I am strong, I am filled with energy, and today I will take steps toward my vision." At first, your body may resist, but the mind governs the body. As you persist in holding the thought of strength, your body will respond, and soon your day will be shaped by your decision to control your thinking. Consider also the moments when obstacles arise. Perhaps you face financial difficulty, or conflict in relationships, or disappointment in your work. These are the testing grounds of thought. The average person yields to discouragement, filling their mind with images of defeat. But the one who masters their thoughts looks upon the obstacle as an opportunity. They ask, "What lesson is here for me? What strength can I gain? What skill can I develop?" And by holding that thought, they turn adversity into advantage. The problem remains the same, but the mind transforms it into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Every thought you hold long enough seeks expression in reality. If you dwell on fear, you will act timidly and attract circumstances that justify your fear. If you dwell on courage, you will act boldly and attract circumstances that reward your courage. If you dwell on wealth, you will see opportunities that others overlook, and you will move toward them. If you dwell on poverty, you will blind yourself to abundance and shrink away from opportunity. The outer world bends itself to the inner world of your thought. Remember, you cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control how you think about it. Life may deliver setbacks, betrayals, losses, and hardships, yet even in the darkest night you retain the power to choose your thoughts. That is the ultimate freedom. No prison can chain it, no enemy can steal it, no failure can destroy it. And when you realize this truth, you will understand that you hold within yourself the key to liberation, growth, and victory. Train yourself to dwell upon the life you desire rather than the life you fear. See yourself already possessing the qualities you seek. Picture yourself walking in confidence, living in abundance, radiating strength and peace. The mind accepts these pictures and begins to work tirelessly to bring them into form. Doors you never imagined will open. Ideas will present themselves. People who align with your vision will appear. It may seem mysterious, but it is simply the law of thought expressing itself through life. You are not the victim of circumstance. You are the master of your inner world. And when you master that inner world, the outer world bends to your will. The great truth stands unshaken. As you think, so shall you become. Fill your mind with what you wish to live, and life will deliver it in due season. Persist, believe, and never cease to govern the one power that is truly yours, the power of your thoughts. So I urge you, do not delay. Do not leave the direction of your life to chance, habit, or the influence of others. Take command this very day. Declare to yourself that you will be the master of your thoughts. Persist in this mastery until it becomes effortless. For when you do, you will discover that you have not only changed your thoughts, you have changed your life, and in doing so, you will have fulfilled the greatest power given to man, the power to think, to choose, and to create destiny. When you look at the difference between those who succeed greatly and those who live in quiet frustration, it is not always intelligence, resources, or talent that separates them. It is the way they think. The one who succeeds has trained themselves to direct their thoughts toward the vision they desire, no matter the difficulties that arise. The one who fails allows their mind to be tossed about like a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every storm. Thought is the rudder of your life. Without it, you drift. With it, you can chart your course and steer yourself to any harbor you desire. Think of the farmer who plants his seeds. If he allows weeds to dominate the soil, he cannot expect a harvest of grain. If he fails to water and nurture his crop, he cannot expect abundance. The mind works in the same way. Each thought is a seed. Plant thoughts of failure, and failure grows. Plant thoughts of courage, and courage blossoms. Plant thoughts of wealth, and you cultivate abundance. Plant thoughts of health, and your body responds with vigor. The harvest you reap tomorrow depends entirely on the seeds you plant today. It is true that thoughts alone are not enough. You must act. But action without right thought is like laboring in a field of weeds. You may work hard, but your harvest will disappoint. Right thought is the foundation upon which right action is built. When your mind is fixed firmly on victory, your actions naturally align with that vision. You move with confidence. You see opportunities others miss. You refuse to surrender at the first sign of difficulty. You carry within you a conviction so strong that even others begin to believe in your vision. That is the power of disciplined thought. It not only shapes your life, it inspires the lives around you. Every day you are faced with countless small choices of thought. Do you dwell on the insult, or do you focus on your growth? Do you think of your weakness, or do you remind yourself of your strength? Do you picture defeat, or do you picture victory? These small choices, repeated daily, become habits, and those habits determine the character of your life. There is no neutral ground. Every thought you allow strengthens either the chains of fear or the wings of freedom. You may not be able to change your past, but you can change your future by changing your thinking now. You may have stumbled many times before, but that does not bind you to stumble again. You may have lived with limitation, but you can begin this moment to think of expansion. You may have allowed fear to rule you, but you can begin now to think of courage. The past cannot hold you if your thoughts are fixed on the future. This is not theory. It is a law as real as any law of nature. Those who live by it rise, and those who ignore it fall. The responsibility rests upon you. No one else can control your thoughts. No one else can choose them for you. That power is yours alone, and with it comes both the burden and the blessing. You hold in your hands the ability to design your future, shape your destiny, and change the course of your life, not by waiting for luck, not by depending on others, but by the deliberate mastery of your own mind. And so the message is clear. Control your thoughts, and you can control your destiny. Direct them toward courage, and you will become courageous. Direct them toward abundance, and you will attract abundance. Direct them toward strength, and you will grow strong. Let no fear, no doubt, no weakness enslave your mind. Claim the power that is already yours. Guard it, nurture it, and direct it with unwavering purpose. For in mastering your thoughts, you master your life, and in mastering your life, you fulfill the highest purpose for which you were created. There will always be voices around you that try to plant their own thoughts into your mind. Some will tell you that you cannot achieve what you dream, that life is too hard, that success belongs to others. If you allow these suggestions to take root, you will begin to live out their prophecy instead of your own vision. But if you stand firm as the guardian of your mind, if you choose deliberately which thoughts you allow and which you reject, then no outside influence can determine your destiny. The world may shout its doubts, but your inner voice can declare faith, and it is the inner voice that will guide your steps. The human mind is capable of both building palaces and prisons. With the same mental power, one person can create hope while another creates despair. The distinction lies in the choice of thought. If you chain yourself with images of failure, you live in a self-imposed prison. But if you free yourself with images of possibility, you construct a palace where your spirit can dwell in strength. The walls that hold you back are not built of stone, but of thoughts. Break those walls, and you discover that the horizon was always open to you. Every day, life tests whether you will be the master or the servant of your mind. A harsh word from another person can provoke anger unless you choose to think of patience. A setback in your work can generate despair unless you choose to think of persistence. An unexpected hardship can stir fear unless you choose to think of courage. Each moment is a battle, and victory belongs to the one who remains alert and refuses to yield control. The mind, once disciplined, becomes like a faithful servant, obeying your commands and working tirelessly for your success. The mind also responds most powerfully to emotion. A thought wrapped in feeling takes root far faster than a cold, lifeless statement. That is why you must not only repeat affirmations, but feel them as if they were already true. When you say, "I am strong," let the emotion of strength flow through you. When you say, "I am destined to succeed," let yourself feel the triumph in advance. The subconscious mind responds to this intensity, and soon your entire being is aligned with the thought you are impressing upon it. Let me remind you that this mastery is not accomplished in a single day. Just as the great tree grows from a seed watered daily, your mastery over thought grows through daily practice. At times you will falter. Old habits of fear and doubt will try to reclaim their territory. Do not condemn yourself. Simply return again and again to the higher thought, the vision you have chosen. Each time you return, you strengthen your power. Each time you persist, you grow, and in time you will look back and see that what once was a struggle has become your nature. Never forget that the greatest victories in history began in the quiet places of the mind. The great leaders of nations, the inventors who changed the course of civilization, the thinkers and creators who lifted humanity, all of them first controlled their thoughts. They dared to believe in what others could not see. They refused to yield to fear. They disciplined their minds until their visions became realities. And if they could do it, so can you. For the power they used is not hidden from you. It rests already within your own mind, waiting for you to claim it. So let this truth settle deep within you. The power to control your thoughts is the power to shape your life. Refuse to drift. Refuse to surrender. Refuse to let fear command you. Stand as the master of your own mind. Fill it with vision, with courage, with determination, with faith. Guard it as your most precious treasure, for indeed it is. And when you live by this discipline, your life will rise to heights you once thought impossible, and you will know that you yourself have unlocked the key to destiny by mastering the realm of thought. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your destiny. They are the silent architects designing every chapter of your life. If you allow them to run wild, you surrender your future to chance. But if you take hold of them, if you choose deliberately what you will dwell upon, if you fill your mind with courage, faith, vision, and strength, then you place in your hands the greatest power known to man, the power to create the life you desire. No obstacle can withstand a mind fixed on victory. No setback can defeat a spirit governed by faith. No fear can enslave a soul that has chosen courage. The command of your thoughts is the command of your life. Begin today, master your mind, and you will master your destiny.